Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. It's time for some Jon and Kate drama, courtesy of Jon Gosselin and an interview with The Sun. Before we get started, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Okay, so one of our favorite topics are Jon and Kate, of Jon and Kate plus 8, because these two, even despite the fact that they have been divorced now for 11 years, can't seem to find a way to get along. Now, Jon has been very active in the last few months, spilling all kinds of tea about his former wife, Kate, and his relationship, their marriage, and everything in between. One of the biggest reveals came this past fall when he actually sat down with the Daily Mail and talked about what happened to his son, Colin. After it was revealed all the details about Colin and some nitty gritty about filming and filming without permits, Kate actually lost her job. Yep, that's right. Miss TLC Queen is finally, after over a decade, without a full-time position or a contracting position. I don't even know what kind of contracts they have on TLC. Anyways, Kate is, according to court documents, she was let go by the network because she says that Jon tarnished her reputation. Kate, I don't know if that's why, but whatever. But Jon has been really busy talking about her. And in an interview today, or actually yesterday with The Sun, he actually was talking about the current situation that he's faced with. So if you keep up with him, you might know that he works in IT for a healthcare organization, and that his current girlfriend, Colleen, also is a nurse practitioner and works in the healthcare industry. And during an interview, they asked Jon, what is Kate doing for work? And he said, I have no idea what she's doing for work. I mean, you think, as she claims, she has her nursing license, that she'd be on the front line. That would be a good idea, just saying. So obviously, we're in a current situation in the United States and the world where healthcare and officials and healthcare doctors, nurses, we need a lot of healthcare workers, let's just say. Hospitals are bustling, clinics are in need of help. There's so much need for healthcare right now, and obviously with what's going on, people are actually coming out of retirement, according to Jon. Now, he further continued by saying, when you see nurses and doctors like Colleen, it's a calling. It's like this inner thing. Or even our CMO here. She's like, I got sick and I can't wait to get back to work because she's so devoted to her patients. And then you talk like my ex-wife, well, I was a nurse and this and that, because Kate does commonly discuss the fact that she was a registered nurse and worked as a nurse for years prior to having her sextuplets and children. And he said, so there's people that talk about it, and then there's people that talk about it and actually do it. Burn. Now, Kate has not worked as a nurse for over a decade, probably more than a decade, maybe 15 years. I mean, it's been a long time since Kate's worked as a nurse. However, her nursing license is still active, so if she wanted to be a nurse and work, she could, meaning that even though she hasn't been working as a nurse, she has kept up with education requirements and licensing requirements in the state of Pennsylvania. So she could be working, but she's not. And according to The Sun, they were able to see that her license doesn't expire again until 2021. So he said, so if I can call her out right now, if you say you're this person, i.e. being a nurse, then why aren't you doing something? He said there's people out there who need nurses and they need people on the front line. There's people coming out of retirement that are just going to the hospital and volunteering with no PPE or nothing and just being next to people that are passing away in the hospital. He said, I'm here. I go on the floor. I fix printers in rooms. Maybe I even touch keyboards that might get me sick. I just put my hand sanitizer on and I put on my mask. It is what it is. It's your job. You got to do what you got to do. So he and Colleen, they've been together for 6 years. He said that they've seen a lot of their colleagues actually get ill. They are seeing situations happening in the hospital and the healthcare facilities that are making them realize, what's going on in the world. They're very close to the situation. They said they are working day in and day out within what's going on with the current situation. So they even bought a tent. So because they both work in healthcare, he said that they bought a tent in the case that either one of them becomes sick, so that they can actually isolate themselves from the rest of the family and from their kids. Now, Colleen has children, and then he has custody of Hannah and Colin. So he says, is not working. So while he's there plugging away, fixing computers, doing IT maintenance, and he's an IT administrator, and while Colleen is caring for patients, Kate, who could be working as a nurse, is not working as a nurse. And I don't know. Like, in this situation, is this just a reason to bring up Kate and to make her feel bad? Or are you really like encouraging her to go back to work? That's my question. Obviously, Kate hasn't worked as a nurse for like more than a decade, like a very long time. And with that being said, of course she could go and get a job right now, but how skilled would she be at this point in time, being that she hasn't worked for so long? Sure, her license is current, but her skills could very well be rusty. Now, that doesn't mean she still couldn't help people, but maybe she doesn't want to be a nurse anymore. But to his point, then, if you don't want to be a nurse anymore, then don't claim that you are a nurse or you are a nurse. So he says, you claim you're a nurse, well, put your money where your mouth is. People need our help right now. Go to work. What do you think? Should Kate be going to work? Should she be utilizing the fact that she has a current license and helping people deal with the current situation in the world? Or is it her right and her choice to stay at home, stay with her kids, and not use her license? I have a feeling that Kate will not go back into healthcare. That's just my assumption. I think Kate, in my opinion, really likes the fame and the fortune that came with reality TV. And I think once she let go and left the nursing world, that she didn't want to be a nurse. In fact, in the book that Robert Hoffman wrote about Kate, called How Kate Gosselin Fooled the World, he talks about how she didn't really even enjoy working as a nurse, and that her colleagues thought that, she wasn't a very good nurse. She didn't have the best bedside manner, let's just say, and she didn't have the patience to deal with a lot of the situations. Which, if you think about it, can you imagine Kate as a nurse? I mean, we have nurses in my home because of my son's health, and I don't know that I would want Kate taking care of my child. Being a nurse requires a lot of patience, a lot of skill, and a lot of bedside manner, none of which I think Kate has. So while he puts her on blast, I say, Kate, stay home and just let that license expire. All right, you guys, let me know what your thoughts are. I'll be back later with more. Bye.